It's Katie's turn to do the cold open. I can't do it. It's your episode.
Well, I think that we should do the cold open should be the part where you were saying how chugging carbonated beverages makes your eyes feel funny. Personally.
No context. Just go.
Like,
they don't.
This is what he says. These are the things he says. I can't make this shit up.
It doesn't make your eyes feel funny at all.
I can't say I've ever chugged a carbonated beverage and had any sensation in my eyes.
Okay.
Sometimes it tickles my nose.
Okay.
Okay. Because like the nose and the throat are connected and you get a little tingle tickle. Yeah, that happens. Your eyes are not connected. If they are, we've got problems.
To each their own, I guess.
Okay. Welcome to Overthinking Games. It is a podcast about what video games can teach us. My name is Katie, and I am joined by my two co-hosts. First up is Seth. Say hi, Seth.
Nice. Hi, I'm Seth. I'm next.
Mm-hmm.
Dempsey, how about you?
You stole that from me.
I did no such thing.
Katie stole that from me. My name's Dempsey.
Okay.
I edit the TikToks.
He's our media guru. He's our editing professional. He is the reason there is a podcast product at all. So good job.
Okay.
Are you happy right now? Okay.
Yeah, I feel good.
Okay, good. We all seek external validation. It's okay. That's actually super relevant to what we're talking about today.
Wow, what a coincidence.
This week, we are going to be talking about metrics and gaming. As we talked about pre-podcast, we're going to make sure it's not a repeat of our achievement topic, but talking about how stats or like self-tracking can impact our enjoyment of games for better or worse. And then kind of talking about how tracking outside of gaming can impact our lives a bit. So, but first, before we do that, we're going to talk about what we've been playing this week. Dempsey, what have you been playing this week?
So, thank you, Katie. I have played one game in the collection of essays on empathy that you gifted me, and the game I played is called Supercontinent LTD or something like that, and it is kind of like a point-and-click adventure game. It's very short. You are infiltrating like this corporate office, kind of like this espionage thing, and you are like doing social hacking, like pretending to be people. You have like a voice modulator that can like steal people's voices, basically. You have to like collect phone numbers to know who the next person to call is. And then you have to input the phone number on the phone and call that person, and then get the information to get another phone number and then call that person. And so it's like this game of telephone with phone numbers. The thing is, the Steam Deck is definitely not optimized for it. And if you play it in handheld, like I did, I had to map each of the digits on a keyboard to all of the face buttons on my Steam Deck.
And then remember what they all are.
And then remember what they all were.
Oh, no.
So I could type in. I am noticing Essays on Empathy is definitely a PC title. I would not recommend it if the only thing you have is a Steam Deck, actually.
Okay.
Do
you have a dock?
No, I do not have a dock.
I'll get one.
I was going to get one, but I got a TV instead. I don't think it plays well with Linux because like each game has like the game itself, an art book, and a little mini documentary that you're supposed to be able to watch where the developers talk about the game. That video does not play. And I'm assuming it's because it's probably trying to pull up Windows Play or something like that, and that's not installed on my Steam Deck or on Linux.
You should try playing it on the desktop mode. Maybe that would be better.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But so I definitely do not recommend playing this game on Steam Deck. It takes a lot of accommodations to be playable, but the idea was super cool. And like this idea of like this phone espionage game where like you had to collect phone numbers, and then the game kind of remembers them for you, but you can't look at the phone numbers and input them at the same time. So you kind of have to like, so I had my phone notes app open and I like kept track of the phone numbers that way.
Yeah, I would
And then,
not
like,
be able to remember.
And then you have to like be like, oh, this conversation mentions this person. And so you'll call people back and forth multiple times. And the more information you get, the different your conversation's going to go with them. It's very short. You could probably do it in like 20 minutes or so, like finish the whole game in like 20 minutes or so. It's a very short game, but I would have played a lot longer version of it, honestly. Like that could be like a 2 or 3 hour experience. It's a very, very fun mechanic. They like were able to like layer different things on top of that mechanic. So like sometimes you had to collect security codes and those were your digits and things like that. And so kind of stretching the idea of inputting digits in different contexts was kind of cool as well. I could imagine them doing like a phone menu thing where, you know, how like the robo menus like press 1 for this or whatever, do like specific treeing paths that way. Like, I think that it's such a fun input and such a fun idea. I would have definitely been okay playing like a more fleshed out version of this, but as it stands, it's pretty fun. The story, honestly, really mediocre. It's just like a very average corporate espionage story, but the mechanics are really good.
Did it teach you anything about empathy?
Kind of. Yeah, it's about a terrorist group, kind of.
Okay.
And so there's definitely like an emotional hook in there.
Interesting.
And you kind of have to see their perspective to know who to call and how to like converse to them. I played Thomas Was Alone, which so far is my game of the year 2024.
Wow.
In January.
Good job, Seth.
It is.
You're
So
welcome.
it fucks so hard in the fact that it's a really clever, good platformer. Like, if there was no other layer to it, the platforming is really cool. So I have not gotten very far, but basically, right now I have like 3 characters I need to control. One's short, one's medium, and one's very tall, and they're all like rectangles. And you have to like use all of them to solve all these different kinds of puzzles, these
They help
platforming
each other.
puzzles. Yeah, they help each other. And they all have different like personalities and like the way they see themselves and the way they interact with each other. And it's like really good. Like it's like really, really, really good. It's a little bit self-aware, like a little bit like
It's a little bit like this is a game about like talking rectangles.
yes. Yeah. It's a little bit self-aware. Well, I think in the game it's a game. Like the rectangles exist in a game. It's not like a rectangle world. I think it's code that accidentally developed sapience. And so it's very meta. The music is really, really good. It has like fantastic music. The art design, for as like simple as it is really good. I think there's this genre of like really profound platformers that I would put like Celeste. This is not as good as Celeste, but it's very good though. And then Thomas Was Alone. I would put it better than Super Meat Boy. I think Super Meat Boy is just difficult and like reaction time space, where this is like actually fun, clever puzzles that you have to use your tools to solve, which is like a different kind of satisfying.
Okay, so as somebody who is very bad at platformers, who bounced off of Celeste because it was too hard, and who struggled mostly with Hollow Knight because of the platforming, would I enjoy Thomas Was Alone, or would I fall to my death a million times?
No, there's not like a lot of like difficult platforming.
Okay,
It's more of like puzzles.
okay.
Yeah,
I like
Thomas Is Alone
puzzles.
is definitely like a puzzle platformer, which is I think one of the reasons why I didn't enjoy it, because actually I like platformers, but I don't really like puzzle platformers. But yeah, it's definitely like less action platformer. Like Hollow Knight's like action platformer. Celeste is very, for what it is, I feel like Celeste is like a weirdly like intense game. We've talked about it enough on the platforming. But yeah, Thomas Is Alone, super smooth.
Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
I think you would like. The thing is though, your Steam Deck will warn you, I cannot play this game. Your Steam, like in the little thing, it says completely incompatible with Steam Deck. If you go online and look it up, people will say that they have a lot of problems with it. So again, Steam Deck users beware. For me, it's been running flawlessly. I am a little bit worried that something will happen, But
I always check Proton DB to see for compatibility.
yeah, so you might have to adjust which Proton thing to use while playing Thomas Was Alone. Just be aware that you might have to dig in the guts of your Steam Deck a little bit to enjoy both of these games, actually. And then I've been playing Baldur's Gate.
What are you running as?
So I'm still doing the Pacifist Cleric with my friend, and we just got to the third act together in co-op.
Oh, wow. So will you not fight?
Nope, I'm not fighting. I took the Hippocratic Oath as a cleric.
So what do you do? Just support?
Yeah, just support.
Oh, wow.
And
how fun.
That sounds lame, but it's actually a really fun way to play.
I bet it is. Did you really take the Hippocratic Oath in the game? Or is that your character's choice?
That's my character choice. That's my lore.
Oh
all of my characters have lore.
What a nerd.
And so my character, and there's a lot of silly things that my character did that would be a spoiler, so I cannot say. But let's just say that she is going through a great transformation. And if you know what happens in the third act, you know what that means. But she's going through it. And then on my solo playthrough that I'm playing Tactician, I'm doing Paladin. And I'm doing like a classic sword and shield. Everyone who is vaguely evil dies. A lot less nuance. And that has been very fun as well. You can just divine smite people all over the place. Paladins are cool.
You're so much better at like picking a role play, like picking a lore and sticking to it. Whenever I play a Choices Matter game or anything like that, I always just pick the things that I would pick. And I just self-insert into any character I'm playing. They're all the same person. They're all me. Sometimes slightly sassier and bolder than I would be in real life. Sometimes not.
No, and Baldur's Gate's really fun with that as well. Because, the classes are so well tuned. And like, even like within the classes, like I have Gale as a necromancer. It's like he's like only uses necromancy spells. And that has been fun as well. So there's a lot of very fun ways to play the game. What has Seth been playing? Seth, what have you been playing?
Not much. But I've been playing a lot of one thing, which is I've been playing a lot of old school RuneScape.
The obsession continues.
I hate myself, and I can only jump from one game obsession to the next. But old school RuneScape was free, so like,
there you go.
I was having a great time with it. I bought a month of membership today because I played through like all the free to play content. RuneScape's a weird game to sort of explain. Like, it's an MMO, but it's not like an MMO like World of Warcraft. Like, World of Warcraft kind of gives you like two things to do. You can do quests and you can beat stuff up. It's very like classic fantasy oriented. RuneScape is like, hey, here's a bunch of skills that you can level up. Like, you can level up your like woodcutting skill or your fire making skill or fishing or thieving or agility or construction.
Stats.
So there's so many like baseline skills to work on. And I got all of my skills up to level 40 in free to play, except for like the two really annoying ones. And I did like all the side quests and I like beat up a bunch of stuff. And I was like, okay, like, I guess now I'm going to pay for membership because it's all I have left to do. At this point, like, I've played through like all of the content available for free to play players.
They got you.
Well, and this is kind of what I intended on doing. Is I was like, I don't know how much I'm going to get into this game. I don't want to just like buy membership right away and then like play for like 2 days and then like not play it again because it's like a month worth of membership. So I was like, I'll play the free to play for a while, make sure I actually enjoy this, and then like I'll get like the month's worth of membership. And that's why I only bought like a month's worth of membership, because you could buy like a month, and then, if you buy like 6 months, it's cheaper. If you buy like a whole year, it's cheaper. But I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be playing this past like this month, right? So we'll see how it goes. But for now, like, I'm still really enjoying the game. It's a very like grindy game. I think literally last night, my girlfriend was over, she left, and I like sat down on my computer and I just like clicked a furnace for like 2 hours. Like, literally, like, click on a furnace, smelt iron bars, smelt 140 of them, run to the bank, go back to the bank, pick up another 140 of them, run back to the furnace, smelt another 140. And just like did that for like 2 hours and just like watched YouTube videos on my other monitor.
Nice.
And I was perfectly happy doing that. It's kind of turned into like my chill game.
Yeah.
So it's fun for now. We'll see how everything evolves.
I wonder if it runs on Steam Deck.
You could play Old School RuneScape on Steam. Like they have a Steam. I would add an addendum that I would not recommend it. RuneScape's a weird game because I think unless you have some sort of nostalgia or you have like a really specific drive to play the game, it's not a very approachable one. And I don't think it's fun. Like, I think there's way better things to do with your time. And I think you could have like way better like fun versus time output on like plenty of other games. It's sort of one of those games that you're like, yeah, like if I played this with other people, I'd probably have a lot of fun, but it's like kind of like insane person behavior to play it by yourself.
So, right, what you're telling me is it's just compulsive at this point and you're just waiting for it to let you go.
Yeah, well, there's that. I think it's also going to get into a little bit of what we're going to talk about today, which is like it has a ton of quests and it has a bunch of like, they call them the achievement diaries. Like, hey, here's a list of things to do in this town. And it splits it off into like an easy, medium, hard. So I have like very clear lists of like, here are things to do. And my brain responds really well to that in terms of like, oh, okay, I have a very like laid out list of things to do and I'm going to get like a very obvious reward for doing so. So in terms of metrics, it's very easy to track like myself making progress. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
Is there a name for the progression of skills by doing those skills? Like in Stardew, you don't like put points into a skill tree. You like fish a lot if you want to get better at fishing. And the same thing with like Skyrim.
I get what you're saying.
Whereas like in other games, you will get experience and then get skill points and then you allocate those skill points. But like, is there like a name for that kind of system of progression where like
I get what you're saying.
Like in old school Oblivion, I used to crouch and hide around a corner with somebody in the room so that my sneak would go up.
Yeah. Like the first things that comes to mind, like if I had to come up with a term on the spot for it, I'd call it like iterative skilling versus point based. But yeah, I don't know. There might be official terms for it, but
Interesting.
If you know, email in.
Yeah, if you know, let us know. Katie, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing. So it's been kind of a taxing week for me at work, coming back from the break and all of the things, and my brain has just been tired, and like my emotions have been tired. So I haven't had. I know this sounds ridiculous, but like I haven't had the energy to play like my narrative games that I love so much. I'm like, I can't actually get into this. I can't think about anything right now. And so I've been playing Vampire Survivors. And I know I talked about it last week. And last week I could only get to 11 minutes without surviving. And
Seth was bullying you about that.
And Seth was bullying me. But then I don't remember. It was a few days ago. I was texting into our group chat on the Discord, and Seth gave me all kinds of pointers, and dude, that changed the game for me. So I learned that this is a pointers for anybody else who wants, if you're listening to this and you're not a gamer, which I know there's a couple people listening to this who are not gamers, get Vampire Survivors on your phone. It's free and very accessible.
Good suggestion.
And just try it out because it's a really good in-between moments game until you get better, and then it's a 30-minute game. I'm super excited about this. So what I learned was you need to try not to pick every weapon. You want to pick a couple of weapons and upgrade them as much as you can. because I was just like, oh, this looks cool. That looks cool. This looks cool. I had like one of everything, and everything was like a level 2 level. And I wasn't leveling up anything beyond like a 3 or 4 max. And I was getting decimated around minute 11 to 13. And then, so Seth told me that, and I tried it out, and all of a sudden I unlocked the next map. I played enough that I unlocked the next map, and then I went on to the next map, which is like a library, and that's not a spoiler. It's fine. And the library is so much easier than the Mad Forest, and I was able to, the first time that I played the library, I got to 30 minutes, which is the end of the game. So the max length the game is 30 minutes, and then it says game over, and I felt like a god. It was great. It was so good. I was like, oh, I'm good at this. This is great. And it has become an all-encompassing passion for now. And it's so accessible because it's on my phone. And it's great to listen to like a podcast or an audiobook while you play or watch YouTube in the background. And you get to collect all of the little jewels, and the dopamine hits just keep coming. And yeah, everyone.
Do you want the next little tip?
Yes, please.
30 minutes is not the end of the game.
Oh!
Haha.
I did not know that. See, so far, it's the end of the game so far. Okay.
So when I last talked to Katie about this, she's like, I've only gotten like 11 minutes in. And I'm like, yeah, you've literally experienced like 1% of what this game has to offer. She's at like 5 now. She's making progress.
Yeah, progress. And it feels so good. So that's literally the only... I haven't even turned on my Steam Deck this week. Like, Pentiment is sitting there. I'm in the 3rd act. It's waiting for me to finish it. And I'm like, you'll be there when I'm ready. It's fine. So, it's been pretty fun.
I will say about Vampire Survivors that, like, you know, in like a movie where like a kid is like addicted to video games, or like the parents are like, what's that? Like, you turn off that video game or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Vampire Survivors is like exactly what I see them playing. Like, Vampire Survivors is what I am worried other people think of video games. If that makes any sense.
Listen, it won a BAFTA. Okay.
Yeah, she's right.
It's art.
It's art. It won a BAFTA.
It won a BAFTA.
But you know what? I think you're right. I think if they showed like Stranger Things or something, and then they were playing like Vampire Survivors on like an Atari, I'd be like, yeah, like that makes sense.
It would fit. Absolutely.
I don't think I'd be phased.
So true. So yeah, that's all I've been playing this week. But let's see. So on to our topic for this week. I wanted to talk about metrics in gaming and in other realms. This idea came to me because I got an electric toothbrush for Christmas. And it's great, by the way. Get one if you can. It's really nice. It makes your teeth feel really shiny. I like it. But when I was looking at the box, they were like, get the app. And the app will show you your brushing habits, and it'll show you your trends for like what parts of your mouth that you miss and how much time do you spend on average, and like what's your pressure like all of these metrics. And I was like, people, no.
So you can min-max your brushing of the teeth?
You could min-max your oral care. And I was like, people
oral maxing is so funny.
We don't track anything. And we are so starved for that dopamine. We're like, I just want my toothbrush to tell me I'm good. So, so it started me thinking about other things. Like when 5 years ago, maybe, I got really into fitness, and I was tracking like my nutrition, like down to my sugar and salt grams, like everything. It was unhealthy. It got to a point where I was like, you know what? This is really bad for me, and I have to stop. Like, it started out as a really positive thing, and I saw a lot of progress, and then it just went too far the other way. So I have experience with self-tracking in the real world. But then on games, I was thinking about it, and I also track on games, and a lot of the times those metrics are the deciding factor for whether or not I've had fun. Like on Call of Duty, if I'm playing team deathmatch and I lose the game, but I have a positive kill death ratio, I'm cool with it. Like my personal stats are good. I don't really care about the loss that much compared to my kill death ratio. If I win and I have a negative kill death ratio, I'm not happy with my performance. Even if I was like doing assists and helping and whatever, like, no, I didn't personally do well. I'm not happy. So it just made me want to kind of talk about how do those sorts of things impact our gaming experience. Do you guys want to just talk about sort of if you have any background of tracking in the real world or in gaming?
So I've got I think a pretty good one for this, which is, and I don't want to get off the whole like side tangent here, but some of the developers for Magic the Gathering, and I think I've talked about it before, did this thing called the player psychographs, where when they design Magic the Gathering cards, they have a few different like types of Magic the Gathering players in mind. And the short and simple way to break it down is they essentially have like players who are like hyper competitive that they need to design cards for. They need to design cards for the person who kind of likes to tell a story through their gameplay, or they like to do stuff that's like weird.
Dempsey.
Well, and that's me to some aspect, and I'll get to that in a second. And they also have to design for the player that just likes to drop big stuff on the table, like likes to have a big fancy effect happen. Mm-hmm. So I'm very much in the second camp, the one where it's like, hey, I'm trying to go for this like crazy combo. I don't really care if it only happens 1 out of my 5 games I'm going to play tonight, but it's just cool that I got it to happen that one time. Mm-hmm. But the problem is I like doing that in like the most efficient way. Like I still have some of that aspect of the competitive player, and those numbers haunt me. Like, and to some aspect, I have to like distance myself from some of the metrics sometimes, because I'll see like, oh, I put together this like really weird deck in either like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone, and like it goes for this crazy funky effect, and oh, like I've gone like 0 and 8. And if I was just play like a meta deck instead, I probably would have gone like 5 and 3. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is it worth it? But like, to me, the thing that's really worth it is like the experience of having that combo go off. But then I look at the numbers and I'm like, oh, man, I'm just like wasting my time. But like, that's the numbers talking. It's not
right.
like my experience of playing the game.
Right. We let that.
So I hate numbers sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that system can then start to direct what's actually like what's important, because you start to value what the system's valuing rather than your actual experience.
Right. Like numbers are presented to me and my brain immediately goes like bigger number, better person. Mm-hmm. But like really the reality is like numbers are just getting in the way of my vibes.
Right.
Which is I think like a very postmodern critique of capitalism, if nothing else. Yeah. For real. Numbers are getting in the way of my vibes.
So I was talking to my mom before the podcast, just kind of bouncing ideas off of her. And as I was reading this article, and as I was reading it, I was like, oh my God, this obsession with like stats and self-tracking and all these things, it's capitalism. It really is. Like, it's all about like performance. And if you're able to like,
it's efficiency maxing.
Producing. Yeah.
Like everything has to be done in the most efficient way possible or else you're doing it wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's something I'm learning to, Dempsey, I want to give you an opportunity to speak here, but it's something I'm learning to appreciate as I'm playing through RuneScape. Because realistically, RuneScape is a game that, no joke, to like max out all the skills on your character is like is a at least an 1,000-hour experience. Mm-hmm. Like you're dropping 1,000 hours in this game to max out your character. There's a lot of grinding involved. So when something takes like 1,000 hours to do, if you can do it 10% faster, you're cutting out 100 hours. Like, we're talking about a fairly substantial cut here. So the RuneScape community is like really obsessed with efficiency and like what's the most efficient way to do things. And I'm just not that concerned right now. Like, I'm learning to take the game in a chill path and do the things that interest me, even if I know it's not the most efficient thing. But there's still always the voice in the back of my head that's like, you could be doing this more efficiently. And that sucks. I hate it. I have to like actively ignore that voice in my head that's like, there's a better way to do this. Because that better way is not a more fun way. It's just a faster way. And faster is not better.
Right. Deep.
Dempsey, what are you thinking about?
I think for me, min-maxing a game feels like min-maxing a book.
I get
like,
you.
I interact with video games much in the same way I think that I interact with literature. Not that like, even if like obviously the mechanics and like what you are doing in a game is very different. But like, I mostly want vibes from what I am doing. And so I will definitely do things like way more inefficient if I can have my character in like a cooler outfit. Or if I have like a narrative that I'm trying to like tell through my character, like, oh, this character is a pacifist, or this character like is very weak and can only use magic, or this character has issues with authority or whatever. Like, in role-playing games where you have that freedom, I will definitely optimize my experience for like the narrative catharsis versus the gameplay catharsis. And then, so I do not play multiplayer games, and I do not play like competitive games. And I don't know if it's a chicken or the egg situation. Like, maybe I don't play competitive games because I don't enjoy looking at metrics. Like, I think the kind of people who play competitively are the same kind of people who really enjoy being granular about metrics. And that is not me.
Hi, it's me.
And so I think like, even in like a first person shooter, like, I will play a first person shooter, but honestly, I would much rather have like a curated narrative experience, like Doom,
Or
than
Titanfall
play like
2.
real. Yeah. Yes. Than play like real people that I have to like, that I have to like respond
Hit
in like
yourself against.
Yeah, because there's so much more. Because people aren't like puzzles. Like, people, you really have to like learn systems deeply and like really understand what's happening. Where like Doom, you can kind of play Doom like a puzzle. Like, you can be like, okay, this big guy is the first one I need to kill, and then these smaller ones that are faster and do a lot of damage, and I'll save the middle ones for last. Yeah, it's very predictable, and I can approach it like a puzzle game. Whereas, with online stuff, like multiplayer competitive stuff, it does not seem like, and I think that's the appeal, is that, like, for people who want to play competitively, it's that it's a different way of interacting. But yeah. So, and like, I don't track metrics in any game I play. I get excited when I level up, but like, for like the reasons that I have new abilities and things like that. Right. Like Stardew Valley, I'll level up and then I can like bake a new type of pie.
Okay. See,
and I'm really excited to bake the pie.
I was going to ask you about Stardew Valley specifically, actually. So for me, I bounced off of Stardew Valley because I was like, first of all, I felt the pressure of time because I felt like I needed to do everything in one day and all of the things that needed to be done, and I couldn't do them all, much like life. And then I wanted to build the most efficient farm that made the most possible money. And so I was very tied into those data points of like, what do I need to make to be able to make the most money, and what has the best turnaround? So then I started getting bogged down in guides and all of these things. You too, Seth?
Yeah, 100%. And I was even going to tick off of what Dempsey was going to say earlier, but your point about Stardew is perfect. I have such trouble playing Stardew because I can't just sit down and play the game. Every time I play Stardew, it's a game that I play and I just know that like I'm not doing this as efficiently as I could be doing this. It's like a game purpose designed to mess with my head. Because like
it's stressful.
It is stressful because then it's also like, okay, I could just look this up and I could just know definitively that like, and I don't even know enough about Stardew. Yeah, that like potatoes, that like if you plant them on like these specific days, like maximizes your like crop output. And then like if you plant them in like this fashion, it like maximizes. And it's a game that even when I don't look up guides, I'm playing it and I'm like, there's got to be a more efficient way to do this. Like, I literally have this, like, little demon in the back of my head that's like, you're playing this game wrong, and there's a more efficient way to do it. And it's, like, it becomes a stressful experience. But to, like, Dempsey's point, like, it's a single-player game. Like, I'm not racing against anybody. There's no competition here. Like, it's a game about, like, farming. Like, I'm just supposed to, like, show up, like plant some potatoes and then just like rest to the next day and then just pick them up whenever they harvest. Like,
and if you miss
it's
them,
not,
oh well.
Like, who cares? Like, okay, it's another day, it's another season. Like, the next year will eventually come. And like, I can verbalize those things, but my brain is like so miswired that it's hard for me to like approach that game in a reasonable manner. Like, I know I would enjoy Stardew if I could just like slow down and actually like do it.
Right. If we could use it as an exercise of like meditation instead of extension of production.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, it's not a race. There's nobody I'm like competing against. It's not a game that demands like me to maximize my efficiency output.
You don't only have 5 years to play. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to like maximize efficiency, go play like Factorio. Like,
right.
It's a game designed for that explicit purpose.
Dempsey, you never feel that way?
No. I wake up and kiss my animals, and then I tuck them in at bedtime. And then whatever I do during the day. What? Because if you kiss them, they give you better milk.
I know that, but
yeah.
So do you upgrade like to automate things? Like, do you get the little milk collector and?
Oh, I don't think I'm that far yet. Like I like progression. I will like I enjoy like being able to like get new clothes, especially. I figured out how to like dye clothes and make like new outfits, and so that's exciting. But like I don't. Yeah, my farm's a mess. Like it's like. Yeah, like the crops are not organized well.
I would have expected yours would be aesthetically pleasing, actually. I would have expected that.
No, but see, even stuff like that drives me crazy because
It
I'm
needs
like,
to be orderly.
I'm like, yeah, if I moved the chicken coop over like 2 squares, it'll save me 2 squares of runtime every time I have to run to the chicken coop. And if I make a run to the chicken coop once a day, that means per month I save 60 tiles, which is the equivalent of 10 seconds.
Oh my God.
And it's like, in every aspect of this game goes through like this kind of filter in my head. It's crazy. I don't know why I'm like this.
You guys can't see it, but Seth had his hand like on his forehead in a genuine expression and like gesture of stress just thinking about this.
It is. It's a stressful game. I'm also down like 16 ounces of a 4.5% or something. So
no, that's good. Is
yeah, you know how it is.
Delirium one?
No, this is a forged Irish stout.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty good.
I am also playing with someone that knows what they're doing more than I do.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
So I kind of just do what they tell me to, or go fishing. So
do you keep track of like, okay, so in the real world, do you like keep a log of like books that you've read for the year or games that you've played or anything like that? Do you keep any kind of track of that sort of thing?
So
like, how are you so in the moment, Dempsey? Please teach me.
Well, Dempsey, you have a letterbox, right?
I do have a letterbox. And that's mostly so I can post the most hilarious and accurate reviews possible.
What's Letterboxd?
It's a review app for movies. It's like a social media platform that's built around movie reviews.
Oh, okay.
And so after you watch something, you think of a joke in the theater, like one joke in the movie, and then you think about it, and that's all you think about the whole movie because you're like, okay, I gotta remember this joke for the Letterboxd review. I gotta remember this joke for the Letterboxd review, and and then
there it is.
But no, okay. I thought I tried to track my video games like that as well. But like video games are kind of hard to track because like I never know when I'm like supposed to review a game because sometimes I'll quit a game pretty early on, or I'll think I'll come back to a game and then I don't log it even though it's been 6 months or whatever. So I think video games I'm a lot like a movie, you know when it's done, like you know if you've seen a whole movie. But a video game, like I don't know if I could review Stardew Valley right now, even though I've put like 50 hours into it because I just
you don't know if you're like done with that experience.
Yeah, and I don't like the same with Baldur's Gate. Like I might play Baldur's Gate for years, so I don't think I'm done with it. But no, I do not track my data in real life. Like I don't think about like the same thing with like nutrition as well, like stuff like that like people do make progress by tracking. I have to make a vibe out of it. I have to be like even I have to like tell myself a little story as to why I'm cooking. Mostly it's because I want to get laid more. And I think cooking will help me get laid more. Okay. And so I'm like, if I am a better cook, I'm going to be a more attractive partner.
So true.
Exactly. 100%. And so that's the story I tell myself in order to motivate myself to cook more. And so for me, like there's like, I do not track my nutrition. I build a vibe that I feel like I enjoy.
I love that for you. I went through a phase like probably shortly before my real like crazy fitness kick where I was kind of dabbling. I had played Tomb Raider, the reboot, and Lara Croft inspired me. I was like, you know what? You have to be able to do a pull-up to save your own life. If Lara couldn't do a pull-up, she would have died repeatedly, like so many times. Her upper body strength was the only thing that saved her life. And I was like, there's something there. That's important. So I took the skill tree from Tomb Raider and I had a bullet journal. So it's like a journal that has a dotted grid. And I recreated the skill tree from Tomb Raider onto my bullet journal. And I had these different categories. So like fitness, finances, and studying, I think, because I was in college at the time. And I guess it was a while ago, actually. I was in college. So, and I had these different categories. And when I would achieve certain things, I could fill in the skill tree box and it would open up the next set of quests for my skill tree. And it was, you know what? I don't know how effective it was, but it was deeply motivating to me. Like, I was like, this is my quest. I'm on missions. I'm going to get my skill tree. I'm going to upgrade. Like, so that was how I used to be like able to self-motivate myself with things. And eventually, of course, like it kind of became a hassle, so I stopped. But I did that with Horizon Zero Dawn as well because it has such a cool looking skill tree. I actually, at one stage, I printed out like clip art and I traced it on my bullet journal, so it looked really cool. I've always loved keeping data, even when it doesn't mean anything. It just makes me feel good to have things written down and feel like I'm getting somewhere. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes just the act of the tracking is satisfying.
That feels like a very, and don't take this the wrong way, I guess,
Okay.
but it feels like a very like adult take on things. Like, oh, like I have stuff that needs to get done, and I think like the best way to actually make sure I do those is like I track the metrics on it.
But make it fun.
I think it's probably Yeah, like make it fun. But I think that's why like so many people like keep track of their steps or like keep track of how much water they're drinking in a day. Is I think just keeping numbers on those things probably motivates you to be like, okay, like I have a specific goal in mind, like I need to hit 10,000 steps in a day, or I want to drink like 64 ounces of water, or so you just have like that clear goal in mind. And it's something that I often think about, like I need to do more of, is be like, okay, I should probably have this like specific metric in mind. Like, oh, like my life would probably be a lot better if I just graded like 5 assignments a day. Like it doesn't matter what they are, but like as long as I got 5 done a day, like I'll get through them eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I think though, with the like tracking your steps or tracking your water or whatever it is, I read this article. I sent it to you guys, but like at the last minute, so you probably didn't get a chance to read it at all. But the article, which is from Fabrique.com, which I don't know.
Fabrique.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I thought this article was interesting. It said that it can feel like having control to keep track of these sorts of metrics, but it can distract us from a subjective experience, causing us to perceive the body in a more objective way. But basically, instead of actually experiencing whatever that experience is, we're reducing like our experience to a more manageable thing of like numbers.
Okay, yeah, this is super based. And so the immediate thing I thought about is the whole water thing, right? Like people are like, oh, like I need to drink like 64 ounces of water a day. And like that's absolutely not true. Your body has a pre-built mechanism to determine like how hydrated you are, and it's like the color of your pee, right? Like your body literally has like a mechanism in place that you can just look at a few times a day to be like, am I hydrated enough? Do I need to drink more or less water?
And thirst, right?
Yeah, or like thirst is even I think more of a subjective thing, and is probably one of those things that you should get like better attuned into through like meditation. But like if you need like a fairly objective measure about like a fairly objective but non-number based like approach to like how hydrated am I, like you literally like take a look at your urine. But people will like be like, oh no, I need to like drink this much amount of water per day, like I need to have some sort of like number associated with it. It's almost like it's like a performance metric, or what do you call it when it's like I have like a water quota for the day. Like I need to hit my quota, which is a very like, back to the previous conversation, it's very like capitalistic idea of like how to live your life, is like, oh, I need to hit my water quota for the day, or I need to hit my like step quota for the day.
Right. And if you're not wearing your wearable and you get steps, do they even count or exist? Like, does your body get the benefit?
Like I need to hit my like caloric quota for the day, instead of it being like, oh, I'm hungry.
Right. And that's how, when I was really into fitness, I would had my macros that were given to me by like a nutrition coach. And I'd be like, I'm not hungry, but I haven't hit my carbs for the day, so I have to eat more, even though I'm not hungry, which not surprisingly created some very disordered eating habits rather than just being like, actually, I think I'm good.
Well, and I mean, like, I hate, I don't want this to get phrased as like obviously people are like experts in their fields. And if you're like working with like a dietitian who's like, you need more of this thing in your diet, don't be like, yeah, like I think I'm getting enough like B12 off of vibes. Right. So like, I don't need to take my like supplements, but like, yeah.
But
like,
it can, I think like, I totally agree. Like, it's not that it's completely harmful or not useful, because like, I think it can be an extremely powerful tool to be able to take data and analyze it and use it to inform your decisions and your behavior. It's when it gets to the point where you're not listening to other inputs anymore.
Well, we live in a very, sorry, Dempsey, one last thing. I'm like, but like we live in a very like data oriented world, right? Coming from at least a small programming background, one of the reasons why Python, the programming language, got so popular is Python is really good at working with large data sets. So it became very popular for companies because data drives the modern computing world. Like, Dempsey, I'm sure you have a little bit more accessibility with this, but Like you can't work in the marketing sector without having like data about like, what's my like click through on these ads, and like how, and anybody who works in like the YouTube space knows like how does my thumbnails affect like my click through or like my view duration, or like how does the kind of content that I produce, because people are trying to get like more efficient videos, they're trying to get people to like watch for longer, you're trying to maximize ad revenue. And unfortunately, like the reality is you can't maximize the efficiency on those things through vibes. Like you have to use numbers to do that. But ultimately, like I've never watched a single Mr. Beast video in my life, because even though he's kind of like min-maxing the YouTube algorithm, it's still not content that I like. The content that I like often comes with creators that just like base things off of vibes.
Okay, so I have a couple things I want to say. First of all, I watched like Mr. Beast for the first time, like I think a month ago, maybe like 2 months ago. His videos are insane. They're
100%.
They're like the most sociopathic, like weirdest videos I've ever seen in my life. I took a screenshot and I think like I want to obsess over the screenshot, but on Facebook, I don't follow Mr. Beast, but it was like recommended to me, I guess, or maybe I do. I don't know. Anyways, but it was like I spend 7 days in solitary confinement, and so it's like this video of him in a padded room for 7 days, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but like the creator comment, like the comment that someone on Mr. Beast team or like whoever left, it was like, this was a This was a deeply dehumanizing experience. Like and share for more content.
Oh my God.
That's so good.
And I can't stop I can't stop thinking about that.
So funny.
This was a deeply dehumanizing experience.
Like and share. Because he's doing exactly what that said, like separating himself from his humanity for the sake of the data.
I think about
so
that
funny.
so often. But like,
this was a deeply dehumanizing experience. Can we get 1,000 or 100,000 likes on this video?
But the thing is that energy, that like cognitive weird dissonance, is the entirety of all of his content. Like he was like, I cured 1,000 people of blindness or whatever, but it was made like a weird, like a bro clickbait video that had like the same energy as like, I bake the world's biggest bar of chocolate. Like, or I think he has like, I dug 100 wells in Africa. And so like, the existential hell that I assume him and his team live in, like, has to be insane. I think Mr. Beast is an example of someone who min-maxes YouTube, obviously, and he talks about this. It is very strange. This is my feeling about video games and data in my real life. And I think why I will never make data-driven video game choices, I think I only rely on data when there's a problem. And for me, if there's a problem with a video game, I just stop playing the game and play something else. I feel that way about school as well. I think we should track kids only to show that they're performing up to standard, and then we can stop tracking kids after that. Like, as if whatever they are doing is acceptable, that's it. Like, and then only track things if it's a problem. But that's how I feel about data. The kinds of situations in my personal life that I would track data would be like my mom has to watch her diet because she has kidney problems. And it's like, if I had a health issue like that, but that's because there's a problem that needs to be addressed. And so without me having like an issue, I do not want to track data. And I think with video games, if I have an issue that big where I feel like I need to start tracking data, I will just play something else. I would rather do blind trial and error or look up a guide than track data in my video games experiences. But anyways, so yeah, those are just some of my thoughts.
I think you have more fun than I do.
But Katie, did you, were you going to respond to what we said about this, or what I said about the school?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was actually one of my points. And I know we're getting close to time, but this is something that is on my mind a lot. I'm sure, all teachers use data to inform their teaching. Like, that's just part of the process. Like, you teach a lesson, the kids do whatever they're doing, you get it back and you're like, oh, they really didn't get part Y of that. We're going to go over that again. So we get that data to identify a problem, like you're saying, and then we use it to try to fix that problem, try to help the kids to get whatever part they missed or whatever they're lacking. But as a SPED teacher, probably half of my job is keeping data that nobody's ever going to really use. So as like doing IEPs, like if I use a rubric to do my writing assessment, and this is the same rubric that I use when I'm writing my IEP. So I can say, this student is a 48%, whatchamacallit, like, I can't think of the word, proficient. Yeah, 48% proficient in this writing skill. But I also use it in real time to grade their writing and say, okay, this student does not understand how to write a topic sentence. Let's address that. But all the crap that I put into an IEP where I say the student is 48% proficient with writing a paragraph, nobody gives a fuck. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything. You don't look at that and say, the kid has 48% in writing. We should do something about that. We just keep doing what we're doing, and we address the data in real time as we're teaching. But we have to do all of this hoop jumping and all of this fucking tracking so that we have something, a report that we can say, look, the teacher is doing something, the kid is doing something. Now everybody will feel like something's being done. If there wasn't that IEP, people would be like, well, what are you doing? Even if all of those things are still being done in the classroom. Does that make sense? Am I unhinged?
Data-driven choices. That's what was drilled into my head in my undergrad, is that in education, we make data-driven choices. Anyways, and so...
which I do agree with. I just want to say, I do agree with that. Just not all of the hoops and bullshit.
Bureaucracy.
Because that was that's a lot of why I left teaching was, I think there was a paper somewhere that was like, colors can be distracting for kids. And so some of our intervention, like one of our main intervention programming for ELL students was black and white with no color. And I was like, we are learning bad lessons. I was like, this is like,
bad.
I was like, and also I think there is, okay, I have a little, oh my God, I have like a whole take of, I think, oh my God. Okay. Well, we'll see if I cut this out. Jesus Christ. I think education is a lot more of an art form than a science. And
I agree.
I think about that because like you cannot algorithmically generate a good like film. Like it would feel really weird and like generic and like it like when you want
like AI art. Like everybody when you look at AI art, you're like, that's AI art.
And I do not think, I genuinely do not think that you can study classrooms with like a high enough P value or whatever to get like actual data other than someone's subjective experience with a certain classroom method. Because like there's so many variables in a classroom and there's so many vibes, and like it's like not only how the instruction was implemented, but also like what the teacher's attitude towards that instruction was and what their previous personal experience with like the philosophy behind that instruction was, and like all of those. So like I think that like any instruction could probably, or like a vast amount of different instructional types could work in a classroom depending on the combination of teacher and students. And
absolutely, a
lot of classrooms that get studied are more affluent schools anyways. And so their teachers can do like a lot of the papers I read were pretty low. I remember thinking like, oh, these are pretty low classroom to teacher ratios. Yeah, this would work if my classrooms were this small. Like I think that education is too data driven in the sense that like it's not a science how you develop a relationship. Like teaching is mostly about developing relationships with people, and like you can't like data your way into that very well. And so that's why I left teaching, because I was like, I went to school to be like become an expert in my classroom, and then like any sense of my personality or my approach or what I do to connect with people, I feel like was really shackled by our data-driven curriculum that we had to be fidelious to. Anyways, so that's my rant about education. But so I wanted to ask Katie, because I guess Katie and Seth both play games more competitively than I do. But what is the positive side of tracking data and using data during video games?
So, okay, yeah. So when I play a game like Call of Duty, I'm not super duper obsessed. Like, I don't go into the, like, with the weapon tuning and stuff. I'm like, we're going to move the little, like, you could get real into it these days. They have serious tuning capabilities. I'm not that into that side of things. I'm like, I like this attachment. This is what the internet says is good. I'm going to use that. What I am invested in is, and this is that performative sort of side of things, is my own performance. And if I play well, like if I am playing Warzone and I end with like 6 kills or more, even if we lose spectacularly, I don't care, because I've played well, and I get such a sense of accomplishment when I play well, and especially if I think that I'm kind of good at Warzone. And and when my playing and my score reflects that and like backs that up, it makes me feel really good. It's like a major dopamine hit for me. And I feel clever and I feel capable. And those are all really nice feelings to have. So it makes me, when that happens, it makes me want to play again. So it's very much the rat in the box, the Skinner box, like, give me good things, make me feel good. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna plus one everything Katie said, with the addition of, like, I joked about it earlier, but I think it's true, of like bigger number, better person.
Yeah.
Like,
I like numbers go up.
I like the bigger number. Like, I don't play a lot of Call of Duty, but when I do, I'm like, you know what's better than like going neutral on my KD? Going positive. You know what's better than going positive? Going like 2-1. Like, bigger number, better person.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's better than the fact that I got like 1,500 gold today in Stardew, when I get like 1,200, or when I get like 2,000 gold the next day? Like, bigger number, better person.
And in multiplayer games, there is a little element of, I'm better than you.
Ah, yeah.
Like, there is. Like, when I have the most kills on my team, let alone like in the game, I'm like, yeah, I'm really good at this. So it's pure ego stroke. I just like to feel competent.
Yeah, I think it's,
and the numbers are an easy way to know that I am. Like, look, I did it.
Yeah, I think to the point of what Katie's saying, for me, I think it often falls to like, bigger number means I'm doing this better. And like,
and better is better.
And better is better. Yeah. As silly as that is to say, but like, I think it's almost this like innately societal idea that like doing things more efficiently is better. Or like doing things faster is better. And that's a very like industrialism idea, is like, we have to produce more things faster. We need larger profit margins. We need to like make more profit this quarter than we did last quarter. Like, bigger number is better. But like, that's not really the case, right? It's like, did I have fun? It's not even like, did I have more fun than the last time I played? But it should be like, because we're still perpetuating the same problem. If it's like every time I play this game, I need to have like more fun. It's like, it really just needs to be like, did I have fun? Like, do I feel like this was like a valuable experience? Or like, does it even really need to be like a valuable experience, right? Like, to some extent, I think there's value in at least like reflecting enough to be like, okay, was this like a worthwhile use of my time?
Did I enjoy it?
Did I enjoy this? Because you shouldn't be like trapped in things that you don't enjoy, because there's plenty of things that you can enjoy out there. But
absolutely. And for me, with the multiplayer side of things, there's also that element of I want other people to see me do well. For sure. I want to be the top of the leaderboard. I want other people to see that I'm good as well. It is not enough just for me to see that I am good. I need other people to see that. If I have a
bigger number, other people will think I'm a better person.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's extremely healthy.
Yeah, really healthy mindset. But I think that's like a mindset that drives a lot of like our experiences in today. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, oh, I got more TikTok views than you. Oh, I have more Instagram followers. Like, oh, I have a bigger number, so I'm a better person.
You can relate it back to school as well. Like, the kid who easily gets an A is seen as a higher quality student than the student who busts his ass for a C. And that's not how it should be. Yeah. It shouldn't be like the effort and the experience are more valuable. We're talking about that.
I wrote a small paper in college about the fact that we often view students who academically perform poorly as like a moral failure. Like, we associate like academic failure with moral failure, when those are two like completely different things that have like just about zero relation to each other. They have zero like causal relation. Like, being a bad person doesn't mean that you're going to do bad in school. Or like, doing good in school doesn't make you a good person. I think being a teacher helps you like really realize those things. When like, I gotta watch what I say, but I often have students who like perform really well, and I'm like, man, I would not want to hang out with you. And it's like, sometimes I'm sure this is a normal teacher experience, but like students will be like, Mr. Wilcox, who's your favorite student? And I think they expect me to say like, oh, it's like this like really high performing student. And the answer is almost always not. The answer is almost always like a pretty middling or low performing student who I have a better relationship with, because they actually come in every day. They want to like talk about their interests, and they're willing to like listen to me talk about mine. And I have like a personal relationship with this kid, person.
One of my I never tell them who my favorite student is, but one of my favorite students has like a 30% in one of my classes, and I'm like, you're real cool though. You're a cool person.
Yeah, because it's like, that's for a lot of those kids. Like, I had a student last year. He graduated, and I'm like, listen, like, you're like riding like a 60%, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna pass and graduate high school. And I was like, yeah, sick. It's like, follow my Insta when you're done. Like, I want to see where your life goes from this point. And you know what? He's going to be like vastly more successful than a lot of the students who I had who graduated with like 90s, because he's a guy who's got vibes. Like, he's going to be way happier than a bunch of these other kids who like are going to drown themselves in student loan debt and like work some dead end job for the rest of their life. And this kid's going to be like smoking weed and like vibing out. He's got like a zoo at home. He would just come in and talk about like, yeah, I adopted, like, just randomly adopted some kittens. Do you want one? And I'm like, your life's way cooler than mine. Like, go for it.
That's so funny. All right. Any final thoughts before we wrap up? We're good. Did we do it?
I think we made a podcast.
We made a podcast. Okay. Well, and I know it ran a little long. Sorry, we had a lot to say.
Dempsey
so thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Overthinking Games, a podcast about what video games can teach us. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be here again next week. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on TikTok. Dempsey is our TikTok guru and has got videos dropping all the time, most of the time, some of the time. And we would love it if you would go and check those out and leave a comment. If you want to leave us a message or send us a suggestion or just share your thoughts, you can email us. It's in the show notes. So thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. Bigger number doesn't make you a better person.